It says tap for sound. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. All right. I'm just getting some water and applying some little chlorophyll to my water.
Understood. Understood.
Uh,
Uh,
I
and
like
I
that one.
will, if I'm not outside in 3D world and I'm preparing it before I go out there, I'm gonna always add some chlorophyll to my water because I know that we are nature and
Definitely.
chlorophyll exists within us as well. With that being said, gratitude, and I feel honored for you guys to have me here.
Definitely excited to have you with us tonight. Welcome everyone to Cosmic Connections. And we have a special guest here with us tonight, Anuu Marie Ra, and we're super excited. Super excited. Thank you so much for
Ashe.
joining.
Shane, thank you so much. Super honor. You already know we were able to kind of talk, chat, and everything beforehand. So I just thank you on your presence, and I'm just ready to tap on in. So I think that we should waste no time. So I guess we should start off with you just kind of letting us know, and those who don't know who you are and what you do, and let's get into it.
Okay, so I go by Anuu Marie Ra, uh, which Anuu stands for short for Anunnaki. Marie stands short for the name that I was birthed, my birth name, which is Marissa. So I kind of cut that after I went through my rebirth. And then Ra stands for the Eye of Ra. So I kind of like combined all of them, even though we're more than, I don't want, because we're a piece of source, we're source in physical form. So we're more than these things. Really, there's nothing in the language, speaking language that can even uh, describe what we are, like to the core, our essence. It's really nothing in the English language. I don't care if you study etymology, if you break down the origins of the words, it's still, before we had language, uh, there was no spoken language for us. So we're beyond that. But yeah. So I am also a content creator. I really don't like to, when people ask me like, who are you? I am that I am. I don't do specific things. I don't have like a specific feel. I'm limitless. So today I could be making content. Tomorrow I might be painting a mural. Or 2 months from now I went in hermit mode and I'm down in a bunker. So it just depends on what calls for my vessel to move a certain way according to and how I'm guided in the matrix. So me, I'm just me. I'm just being, and however that goes, I flow with the energy until I become the flow. So yeah. So like I said, on this journey, I don't, we're journeying. The journey's journeying. You just don't know. We're walking into the unknown. So when you're walking into the unknown, I really don't have an answer for, what I do and things of that nature. If that kind of makes sense. We're multidimensional beings, so it's limitless.
Indeed. And I agree too. I love that because I think that a lot of the times what hinders us from our journey from time to time is us attaching ourselves to these titles and you know what I'm saying? Because, we're so much more than just our names, the flesh that we're in. We're multi-dimensional beings,
Right.
and we're multifaceted. We can't be put in a box. So
Exactly.
I definitely resonate with when you say that because it's just like you are that you are. I am that I am, and what is doesn't need to be explained because it really can't be understood anyways. You know what I mean?
Reflection. Yes, yes, yes. Um,
Definitely agree with that one.
yeah.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah. So basically, I'm here. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, and part of my mission and my journey, part of my soul contract is to discover really who I am. And this is a part of my assignment. This is a part of what I chose to come down here and to do and to learn and to be a part of and to help push the transmission forward. So all of these things, you guys, you know, you guys are a part of it, us connecting, us aligning, you know, this all correlates, you know,
Mhm.
it's all intertwined, you know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that right now is a very powerful time, and I think that these collaborations are necessary. You know,
Mhm.
us people seeing that we can get together and create beautiful things together and discuss important things together without there being, you know, what we've seen in the past. You know what I mean, or what we've been told. I don't even think it's what we've been seeing in the past. What we've been told that we can't come together as a community and better ourselves. We've been told that we can only stay in certain spaces, just like you were talking about those boxes, those labels, or whatever. And we're just breaking free of that. And I think it's beautiful, really
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm coming to the realization that because I would hear some beings say, "What a time to be alive," and
Mm-hmm.
at first I'm like, "Well, I don't know about that. You know, all these things are going on. You know, I don't know." And then after I sat back and put myself in the observer's
Mm-hmm.
position, and I thought, yes, it is. You know, we have a different type of opportunity than our ancestors. You know, we have certain access that we didn't have back then. You know, you now you can literally you have access. You walk around in your pocket too. You know, not just information. That's connecting with beings that are all over the world. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
back when they were here, you know, even I wouldn't even say back too far, but even 50s, 60s, they didn't have internet. You know, they had to go to a library. They weren't able to access a certain amount of information in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
or connect and link like we're doing. You know, if I have questions or if I'm going through something, or you know, who can I relate to? You know, they didn't have these things. So the opportunity that we have is a very huge one. And yes, what a time to be alive, because we have the opportunity to shift the transmission, you know, to change, to turn some things around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just feel like we've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and expecting different results.
Yes.
Insanity.
Insanity
You know,
indeed.
as a whole, I'm going to take accountability because I'm walking around the matrix too, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
walking around too, you know, la 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 la, you know, expecting something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we
Mm-hmm.
want that, we have to change the mindset.
Yes. And
If
just
we
thinking
really
that way.
understand and overstand and comprehend what the mind is capable of doing,
Mm-hmm.
it's limitless.
Yes.
The
Yes.
mind is what sets the tone for
Yes.
your
Mm-hmm.
reality, her
That's true.
reality, his reality, our reality. You know, what goes on here projects out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got to use it as a tool. We have to look at the
That's the
brain
thing.
as a tool. And I think that would be actually, that you saying that, I'm just thinking about like, yeah, if we actually like really sat back and became the observer of our reality, which we know that that's really what we're supposed to be doing anyways. But if we really use like, you know what, let me play around with this and use
Mm-hmm.
your mind as, start playing with it and see what happens, because we don't know how powerful the mind is. And we really be self-sabotaging ourselves out here out of
Absolutely.
many things that are already ours. But,
Mm-hmm.
we keep
Right.
ourselves.
I think it's simply. I think a lot of us, especially, I can say that for me. I can't really say for everybody else. You know, growing up as a Christian, right? You're taught kind of you have a soul, you have a spirit, right? So this has something. This owns a spirit. This so it puts this as the overhead, right? This body owns us. When it's we need to change that mindset. Is my spirit has a body, my spirit. So it's like if you make that shift, I think it makes it easier, but it takes a
Mhm.
while to get to that place.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
It
I
because
agree.
we
Um,
gotta transcend the ego.
Yeah.
mhm,
That's what
mhm.
holds us back. We it's hard, but it depends on how it's hard. It can be hard. But it takes work too. Like you really have to be consciously, you have to put yourself in a conscious position and be like, you know what, you have to imagine this thing. You got to think about it. You got to like put yourself, because the only way that I've ever gotten to a point to where I was literally watching myself do certain things and, you know, just really becoming the observer of my reality, I had to think about it first and be like, you know, let me try to separate myself from my ego and from my body.
Because it's not an
You know?
automatic. It's something you have to consciously make the decision to do. It's not
Yeah.
something you just fall into at one point. You have to consciously make this decision to, you know, to observe yourself and just to
Yeah.
watch from a higher perspective, using the mind as a tool and not necessarily letting the mind run amok as a subconscious thing. You know what I mean? But intentionally putting yourself, it's intention. It's all about the intention, I think. Right?
Yeah. I think the guru Muji, I don't know if you guys heard of Muji, but
Mm-hmm.
Muji said it the
Yep.
best. He said it the best. He said, the mind is your servant,
Yes.
not your master.
Not the master. Yeah.
Yes.
We start thinking that we're the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And once you do that, you lose access of control.
Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
Like you said, you have to go into this thing knowing, having that understanding that the mind is that, you know, it was given to you to use for this on this experience, on this journey. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason you're here, whatever position that you came to play, this thing here, it's here to help you operate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I think we kind of sleep on that too. I don't think we kind of
Yeah.
really go into it. And for those, I was there. I was there. You know, I was out here too, just walking around. You know, thinking I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
Is, you know, so I get it. You know, there's a lot of things that come up. You know, but for those who don't have the slightest, it kind of sounds like wonkiness. You know, listening to us, I would say just start by just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that just a little, just start small. It doesn't have to be
Yep.
big. It doesn't have to be major. Just
Yeah.
start asking questions. Okay, like we said, the mind is a tool. Once you ask the mind a question, it's gonna go and get that answer. It's not gonna stop
Yeah.
until it gets the answer. So we got to start there first. When you don't ask questions, that means you're going along with everything.
That's true.
Yeah. Yep.
Just the smallest thing. Just start asking questions. Is that right? Even to yourself. Is that right? Does this feel right? Just the smallest, simplest thing is that.
Yeah. Yes.
Does this feel?
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yes.
You know,
That's
and
conscious.
that goes with anything that you're doing. Whether you're going
Yeah.
to work, you know, whether you're communicating with another being, whether you have to
Mm-hmm.
make a conscious decision, everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How does this feel? Because the universe doesn't care about how you look.
Yeah.
It doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
That's not its language. It goes off of your vibration, your frequency,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
your energy. We are electrical beings. So it's all about how you feel. You
Mm-hmm.
got to go by that.
Yep.
That is going to be your guide. You got to go within. That is, within is your guide.
Yeah. And that's the
That
shadow
is
work.
where source is at, you know?
Yeah. That's the shadow work we're all needing to do. That is shadow work, and that's just, it's a lifestyle. It's continuously asking those questions, because you asking those questions and those probing questions, for one, is expanding your consciousness of self.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because like you said, your brain has no choice but to go and search for that answer.
And the answer must arise, and it will arise.
Exactly.
It always does.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Now, will we
How
accept
it
it?
arrives, you know?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you be able to explain to us, like, what your understanding of, you know, consciousness and spirituality? Is it, do you think that it's one and the same, or do you think that it's two separate things? I guess that would be more of my question then, or if you think it's like a combination of both, like what is your perspective?
I feel like spirituality and consciousness is two different things. However, they're connected. Like in a sense as, okay, we all are sourced in different forms. Right? It's like we're still connected, but we're in different bodies.
Yeah.
So I'm not. We're still we're still connected, but in different forms. So consciousness and spirituality is two different things. However, they connect.
Yes.
You can't have spirituality without awareness, which is your conscious and your subconscious. Because if it was the same thing, then it would just be one word for it. It would just be spirituality. It wouldn't even be a
Yeah.
consciousness. That's spirituality.
I agree. I think the same thing because I seen a post a couple weeks ago, is that it you can be spiritual, you can do the rituals, you can understand how to do all these things, whatever, spiritually. You can talk to ghosts and all, the whole nine, or spirit, souls and spirits and stuff like that. Excuse me, no, but that consciousness and being aware of self is a whole another ball game. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really where ascension happens, is internally, consciously. You ascend as you learn, you look at things in higher perspectives. That spiral, you keep coming back to that same point, looking at that same thing from a higher perspective, and it just goes on and on. And so I think that what gets it confused, or people get it confused, they intertwine spirituality with consciousness, and it's not the same.
Right.
It's not entirely the same thing. They're two different things.
Right, because technically, your conscious is only 10%. Your subconscious is 90%. So it's like it plays a part. Like it's a tool. It's another tool.
Exactly.
Subconscious is another tool.
Yeah, and that's the point. Is to get to the that's shadow work. Is bringing the subconscious mind to your conscious mind. That's the goal. And I think that as we begin to dive deeper within that subconscious mind, that's when the real awakening happens.
Exactly.
That's when the true awakening happens. That's when you're tapping into other dimensions and ascending past your ego and all of those types of things. But being spiritual, again, I constantly say this, but if like, for instance, as you're doing spell work on someone unjustly, there's still an aspect of you that you're unconscious of. Like those are wounds that you're dealing with. That's trauma that you're dealing with, to think that you can, unjustly do injustice to another person in any way, whether it's spell work or whatever the case may be. But as far as spirituality, what I'm saying, it's just an example of you can be doing things out of your subconscious mind, because that's, what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. I think, it's that you're using the tools of spirituality, right, to do a work. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're conscious. It just doesn't. You're right now, especially if you're using that tool in a way, in a way that is not right, then it's going to definitely indicate to anybody around you that you're in a more subconscious state, right? And I think that's what you're pretty much trying to say, right, Kai?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So so that basically is what I'm saying, and so and it happens in fragments. It happens in fragments, especially in the beginning of our journey. I think that as we evolve, and or for one, we all start off unconscious to a degree. We come here, we have that forgetfulness, and then we got to go on this journey to remember ourselves.
And that's
Yeah.
what you're all about. Remember, I know for me, I've seen that video. Remember you from you,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yes, girl. Sorry, but I love that though, you know, and it makes, because it's a question. Like when you, it evokes the question,
Mm-hmm.
like what did I forget? What is it that I'm supposed to
Yeah.
remember? Right? It invokes that within the person. And that's one of the reasons why I love your platform, you know, because it really invokes that questioning. It starts
Yes.
to make it happen. So I appreciate
Forces
you
you.
for that.
Yes.
Yes,
And so would
absolutely.
you like to tell us also, like, go ahead and respond, sorry, but I also would like for you to go over your own story and how you
Yeah.
got to this point um in your journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I lost the train of thought. We were talking about
Your platform and
Yeah.
basically how
It
it
okay.
invokes.
No, was you we were the type okay, okay. So to kind of because we'll be here all night if I was to really like break down to the
yeah.
core of how our journey started. Because when we were talking the other night, as I was saying the other night, the journey really starts the moment, you know,
Yeah.
you get here. The
Yes.
journey began. It's just that our awareness, is not there yet. We're not aware of it. So
Yes.
all of these things, from the moment you enter this realm, the journey begins. So it all plays together. Like it all connects. To get you to different points, in your journey. So for me, I would that's the true um answer that I want to give. But to be more specific, I would say maybe about, as we were discussing, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I began this journey not knowing that I was beginning this journey. It started with me staying up late nights and doing just research and looking at documentaries and looking at other multidimensional beings who were down here either before me or during the same time, that were dropping gems and jewels and downloads that I figured out was in my software. I just didn't upload it. So I would say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I started looking into it. I never stopped researching, and then I speeded up. I would say maybe around 3 years ago is when my journey kind of really, okay, I kind of knew like, okay, this is it. I lost everything. I was in a long-term relationship. I lost being in a relationship. I had to move. Um, I lost my way to get around. I lost my job. Like when I say everything, I mean that. At the time, I'm fighting the air because I'm like, what's going on? So for me, that's when the journey truly began, and I had no other choice. Back was against the wall. Because I it had to go that way for me to see things that source wanted me to see, that I couldn't see if I was still working the same job I was working, if I was still in the same relationships, or I was still doing the same things that I was doing. So I was put in a position when I turned and looked around. Nobody's there. So that's where it started for me. And I know a lot of people could resonate with that, losing everything, being attached to people, places, and things, when you're caught up in this illusion, and the most closest things, the most things that I thought was the most valuable to me was taken away. That I thought, but it wasn't, and I had to, and the only way I could learn that, the only way I could see that is if I went through what I went through. As all of us, certain things that we go through, that you have to go through the fire to get to the other side. Or else you're not gonna see it. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
I grew up, in the projects. My mom passed away. She transcended when I was 4 years old. Never knew my father. So it was on from the very beginning. you would think from the beginning you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance in this world, you know. So just like a lot of us, you know, we all, you know, come from that place of, yeah, I lived in apartment buildings. I was on assistance. You know, my aunt took me in, which I gratitude for that. But yeah, I grew up on welfare, food stamps. You know, going to public school, having to walk past, you know, things that and being exposed to certain things to get to school. Yeah, that was me. You know, um, running around, you know, you start to get older and still making choices that were not the best choices, you know, even when I was in high school, you know, and so forth, and finding myself, you know, in situations that could have been avoided, you know, that was not for my highest good, you know, as we all, some of us, I'm not gonna say we all, but a lot of us, you know, I was in the streets, you know, and like I said, that's why I said, it's not just the past couple of years that I'm going to say, oh, my journey began. No, it started from the moment I got into this realm. It all counts. Everything counts. You know, so the
Yes.
journey started then for me. You know, and the things that I went through and to be, you know, I was that one that poured into everybody and made sure everybody was good. And I didn't even really notice I wasn't good. As I know a lot of us are, you know. I didn't know what self-love was. You know, I'd rather show you how much I love you than to show myself. So all of these things is what started my journey. You know, going through the pain, going through the trials, the tribulations, losing people. You know, I seen death right in front of me. To be honest with you, you can walk past me now and you wouldn't even think that the things that my soul has seen, has witnessed. You know, but I don't like to, you know, go into that. However, you know, I'm learning now that through my journey, spirit is like, you got to open up. Somebody needs to hear what you have to say.
And that's so true. And I was just gonna say is that I love that because, well, this is why I like to do these lives, because I mean you have close to 90,000 followers on TikTok alone. And
Yeah.
you know, we get to, like we were talking the other night, you know, I mean, or just in general, that we look at social media and forget that we are real human beings too, that we have struggles too, where we went through our struggles. And you know, we think that, oh, spirituality and consciousness, it looks a certain type of way. No,
Right.
it could look very dark.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to go through the dark in order for you to even understand what light is like.
Right. How could you understand light if there's no darkness?
Exactly.
Period.
Absolutely. And how could you teach and lead other people if you've never been where they've been?
Exactly.
Or if you've never been through anything.
Anything. Yes. Yeah.
You know, and so I honor you for sharing that, you know, because again, you know, I think that that authenticity is yet forgotten. It's like forgotten within the spiritual community. We're only sharing our light. But I mean, we are light, but at the same time we have the balance. There we got light and we have dark. You know, so when they see you in a bad place, where they might see you in person, you might not be in the best mood or whatever the case may be, and they take that and they pull you down off your pedestal, and you shouldn't have never put them on a pedestal to begin with.
Exactly.
You know,
we're
so
still dealing with the flesh. You know,
yes,
we're still dealing with the flesh. We're still all learning, relearning, because everything we already know things is within, but relearning and unprogramming ourselves and, you know, learning again, you know, and it's a process, you know, and we were just talking about that, where we got to shine light on it all. It's not just going to always be love and light, you know, as we talked about before, you know, and these are things that we don't really get into, like you said. However, we should. I'm darkness too. I'm not just love and light. I am chaos.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
exactly,
I am dark matter energy.
yes,
You know, source for real. When you close your eyes, you want to see source. You want to go back to source? Close your eyes and sit with self. You know, and I want to be an example of that rawness, It's not gonna always be that way. I may come out dressed in all black and, you know, with my shaft, and I'm making content like, nah, enough is enough. And I don't want it to be a surprise. Like you said, we got to go through some things. You got to go through that darkness, you know, and be and embrace it. It's for your eyes. I know it may not feel that way at the moment, but you'll see. Oh, okay. Oh man, I lost such and such as a friend. Man, damn, I miss her. Or I miss him. Wow, it's crazy. It's fucked up. And then you figure out your friend was really your enemy. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah. That's why that had to happen. You know?
Mm-hmm.
These things have to play out the way. And that's only because the way everything was designed. You know, this realm that we're on, what we're dealing with. And at the same time, I'm one of the ones, I'm a rebel. You know, I understand that it's still war. We're not free.
Indeed. And you know, another thing too is like we were talking about the other night.
I can't hear you.
It's accepting everything as it is, in the good, the bad, the ugly, and understanding it's all working together for our highest good.
Definitely. I don't think she's able to hear us. Give us one moment, guys.
I can't hear you.
Okay. I think you might have to come back out and come back in. Guys, just bear with us one moment. If you can send her a message, we'll just tell her because she can't hear us.
I can't hear you guys.
All right. 1 second, guys.
It went out and then it came back on and then it went out. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just messaged her on TikTok.
Okay. Also try to on WhatsApp too. Actually, I will.
I can't do it. Yeah. You guys bear with us. This conversation was getting so good, so we're definitely going to continue. Let's just let her come back in.
Yes, but I definitely agree. You know, each part of our journey is vital. Each part of our journey is necessary. Even the destructive parts, even when we go through those dark phases, when we lose friends and we go into that space of solitude, it's all ultimately building us, shaping us, defining us and who we are, and will ultimately make sense as time goes on. You know what I mean?
We all know. I mean, what the Bible say? All things work together. What's the other version of that? Everything is working in the universe is always working in my favor.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
There she is. Can you hear us? Oh no, we can't hear.
She's muted. She has to unmute.
Okay, you guys can hear me now?
Yes. Oh yes. Yay.
Okay, I had to tell the children in the background to. You gotta be honest. Oh,
yeah, no worries.
In the background, la 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 la. They don't know what's going on.
No worries. I think we kind of left off at basically, or I forgot where we left off at, but I did mention something about, you know, how we were talking the other night and just talking about how everything ultimately works out for our good. Mm-hmm. You know, we basically we have to go through the ups and the downs. We gotta, you know, the thing is the ego tells us that it hurts, and we have attachments to our external reality, which makes it hard for us to accept when it's time to let things go. Yeah. And that's when the universe has to yank things, like, you know what I'm saying, yank some things out of our hands because we ain't trying to let it go.
Right. Prime example. I went
Yeah.
through it. You know,
Me
I
too.
lost three
It
cars
was
in
rough.
1 year, and I was like, and this was
Yeah.
like a year ago. This wasn't that long ago. I lost three cars in 1 year.
Me,
I was,
me
what is
too.
going on? I was on a bicycle. I was on a bicycle, but I was okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if it was a test or a humility test, or I just know it's for my ride.
You know, I think
Definitely.
I think there was a major shift. I mean, even for myself last year, it was rough for myself last year too. But you know, through that journey of being in one place. What was that?
I'm not sure, but the video went out for Anuu.
Oh no.
Yeah, guys, give me with us.
Ooh, they working overtime tonight, boy. What were you saying?
No
No
worries.
worries. Mm.
It's giving feedback. Do
It's
you
one of
have
those moments you got. Okay, you know.
I think you're gonna have to come back out. We're gonna come back in because we can't see you. Yeah. Okay. Guys, bear with us. I don't know what's going on today, but it's been, but it's okay. We'll
Yes.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, the good, the bad, all of it is important. Um, all of it is important. And I think what makes it rough, and even me, I'm not gonna lie, even me, I'm dealing with that too. When it comes to accepting that not everything, there is no good and bad. All of it is
Yeah.
important. All of it's for your good, right?
Exactly.
And so yeah, it's just reminding yourself of that.
Yeah. You know, I think that strengthens as you go through this journey.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that it will happen overnight. Because not even, I can't even say that it won't happen overnight. That's just not the way that it works.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it does get spicy, and it's hard at first. But I think that once you understand that, overstand, and understand that, it changes the game. You know.
It does. It definitely does. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
You got your back.
Whew.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Woo.
No worries.
You know what?
I understand.
Even so, we still gonna keep going, and
Yeah,
if,
definitely.
even if it's
That's
a
right.
whole nother meeting, it's not. We'll still keep going.
Yeah, we'll definitely continue on. So I do have a question. I know that when we spoke, you were you made a comment about, that the expectations of people when it comes to when you start this journey that is supposed to be, like you said, love and light or whatever. And how, I want to phrase this correctly. Right now we see, well, I say for me at least, I think initially when I started my journey, I thought you had to be, love and light all the dang on time. You know what I mean? Like, and so every time it went down, every time I found myself in a quote unquote lower vibrational state, I'd be so upset at myself, right? What is the advice you would give to someone who's dealing with that issue? I'm not necessarily dealing with that now, but what would be the advice?
I would say once you understand that this is a part of the experience, you won't, you'll feel better about what your actions, or that moment of you having one of those moments. You'll understand, and as quick as you understand this, as quick as you'll be able to deal with it, and use those thoughts, and use everything, because like I said, everything's for your rise, and become an alchemist with it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Being able to transmute that, because
Yes.
we all, that's a part of the experience. That's how you practice. That's how, to me, when things like that happen, you say this is how I get my practice on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, I see. Oh, you want to play today? So,
Absolutely.
when things ain't going, I do this. I may be driving, a road demon might have cut me off. I said, "Oh, you want to pray today? Okay, okay, I got you." Oh, I might have give somebody a bird. I might have flipped somebody a bird. Yes, it's okay to, because of your awareness, you're gonna be like, because when you start the journey, because of your awareness, like, oh, aunties, freaking said, gave somebody to flip the bird to myself, because everything's a reflection of you. So
Yeah.
once you kind of understand these things, you'll get better with it. It's a process. There's
Yeah.
not, to me, it's not one way to do things. It's not steps like, okay, like, oh, when you get here, checkpoint. Oh, when you do this, it's gonna look like this. Oh, when you get to this point, it's gonna look like this. No. If that's the point, if that was the case, then it's no need for this. None of this.
Yeah.
If we don't need.
It's true.
So for those who are going through that, feel the emotions. Understand that comes with this machinery, this avatar. These things come. It comes with it. Feel the emotions, recognize them, and let it go. We know how to beat ourselves up. We've been doing that. They started hitting us with the programs. We good at that. We done mastered that. So these are the things that it's a process of learning how to. Because it's self-mastery. That's really what we came
Exactly. And you know what? I think that's the truth. And this is how we get out of karmic loops, by looking at it like that. By looking like everything that comes at you, especially if you're viewing it or perceiving it as something negative, take that as a challenge to evolve. Because I look at life exactly like that whenever I'm facing a challenge. And I was just talking about this last night with my family. Is that anytime I'm faced with a challenge, I'm looking at that as my opportunity to rise higher, especially if I'm like dealing with something with my emotions or the way I'm looking at something, or if something triggers me, I'll know like, okay, I realize like, okay, I keep doing this over and over again. This specific thing keeps triggering me. So anytime it's brought back up to my, like, I'll start feeling like, it's like crazy, because I'll know when I'm in a karmic test. And I'll sit there like, okay, Courtney, this is your chance to get this right. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll do my best to overcome that. But we also have to understand that when you ask for patience, or you ask for to evolve, you ask for ascension, those doors will be open. Now, are you ready to receive what you're asking for what you're asking for?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be tested.
Right. It's like initiation.
Yes. Legit, tried by fire. Just is what I just said. But yes, tried by. It is an initiation.
Absolutely, initiation. Because
yeah.
What is it? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Who are you talking to, Kat?
I was just agreeing.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Yeah, and I think that initiation is basically you moving from one level to the next, in the simplest terms. Yeah. For lack of a better term, is moving from one that you basically are being initiated to, because you mastered something. You made a different choice. You made a rip in the matrix in your own reality.
What happens when the different choice hurts, or the different choice is too hard? Let's say you make that different choice. What happens when it's too hard? Or I think that's what keeps people from doing the different choice sometimes.
Change your perception.
Yeah, I guess.
What is hard?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is hard? What does that mean? Right? You know what I'm saying? What makes it hard? And what makes it not, if we can look at, if we are on this conscious journey, we understand that our mind plays a big role, huge role on our reality. What are we really saying if we say something is hard? We're basically planting the seed of self-doubt and limitations.
That's true. You're right.
So I think that once we change our perception, like it might be a little hard or whatever, it might be, or I would say it might take a lot more effort or a lot more energy to move through, but it can be done, especially if it's being presented to you.
That's true.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't think, you know, in the Bible talks about like, the Most High won't give you more than you can bear. So I think that, you know, certain things that we experience, you know, if it's being brought to your reality, you can overcome it. That's my perception. But I think that it all starts with perception and the way that you're looking at that obstacle.
Understood. Yeah, I definitely agree. For sure. Okay, so I appreciate that because that was a personal question. But anyhow, so I wanted to ask.
No, I've been there.
Yeah, it's rough, you know, because what you can make a different choice and then still second guess yourself and like kind of like was that right? You know, so it makes it hard, you know.
It's a process, you know.
Yeah.
And everything is a lesson, you know. The learning just doesn't stop. It's always a lesson out of everything, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
100% agreed. And again, you know, when you look at it like that, it changes the game, and you can evolve faster just looking at everything as a lesson or, you know, a chance to evolve. Like there, you can learn from, like, you know, just being the student to life.
Yes, and like you said, everything that we're communicating right now, it all boils down to it starts in here. Head, a heaven. They both start with HEA. You know, when you look into it really deeply, you know. So it all starts up here, you know. This is the game changer. This is the inside. Inside is the game changer.
Exactly.
You know, however you wanna chop it up, twist it, boil it around, however you want it all inside. And it's a process. And the way it may look for you, and we all gotta remember this, it's not the way it's gonna look for the next being. You know? Your process is for you.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. It's individualized. Yeah, for sure.
That we all get those experiences. Exactly.
Exactly. And we all, you know, and again, as we all know, all of our journeys are personalized. Yeah. We're born at different times. We got different zodiac signs. Our charts look different. We operate different. We talk different, walk different, think different, see different. So we can't expect our, you know, journey to move like the next person's, because it's not. We all have our own unique energetic blueprint. So
that's the whole
your blueprint is going to need different tools, different lessons, different experiences in order for it to evolve.
Agreed.
Yep, absolutely.
You know?
I agree too as well.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Not to get off subject, however, not to get off subject, through all of this, I just want everyone out there, you know, whoever sees this, whoever sees this, you know, whenever it comes across to you, you are going to be your biggest, either you are going to hold you back, or you're going to push forward. Like, you can either be your biggest enemy or your greatest cheerleader, you know, if that makes sense. So understand, nobody's in your way. The only thing that can get in your way is you.
Facts.
You cannot be stopped. I don't care what anybody tells you. You're gonna determine that. You are the creator of your reality.
That's
you
right.
are the master of you.
Yes.
Not him down the street, Not Erdogan, not them over there, not the pastor, not the deacon, not the priest, not the rabbi, not the imam, not the prophets, whatever you want to call it. You are the master of it. Take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take accountability so you can change some things. So you can create the reality that you want to create. You know, I get it. We all had to play the victim at some point, and we all had to play the villain at some point. So you can get it.
Yes. Gotta know both sides of the fence.
You do.
And some of us are blind to it, or some of us are not.
Yeah.
It's all about you at the end of the day. It's on you. Okay? Nobody's gonna save you. I'm gonna stand on that. You don't have to agree.
Yep.
No one's coming
No,
to
it's
save you.
true.
You have to save yourself. All right?
Yeah.
They lie. They lie.
Yep.
We've been bamboozled. They lie. If you're watching me right now, they lie. Nothing's coming from the sky. Nothing's gonna come down here and swoop you up for being as good as you can be. They lie. Just like they
Yeah.
And it's a journey, and now we ride. You know, I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I do want us to have, have these sessions more linked up.
Oh, definitely. Oh my God,
You know, this is the beginning. You know, but I want you guys to know we've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
They lied.
I
I gotta say
know.
it out there for my young ones. If you're watching, it's cap. Remember who you are.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing I think too, is like, that's the scary part of religion, and because it takes away from your accountability. It sweeps things under the rug, and you no longer are the operator of your reality. You are the bystander, in a sense, letting the world happen to you by the grace of Jesus.
You just wherever the wind blows. Yeah, wherever the wind blows. Because they told you it was written. They didn't tell you that you could rewrite the script.
No, they sure enough didn't. They sure enough did.
Things happen, and they programmed us so much. Something happened. We like, oh, it was written.
Yeah.
Oh, it was written. Oh man, I can't get anywhere. I'm stuck. Oh, it was written. No, not in my reality. I'm about this motherfucker. I don't like that script. I don't like the characters. I don't like the scenery. I'm rewriting it. Now, you can let somebody else write your story for you.
Yeah.
If you choose to. That's on you.
I'm saying, because you know what happened? Like, this is the thing, is that some of us are, some of us, we look so much at the past, and I'm like, okay, we got great leaders, we got these great people that walk this earth. Okay, but now we're in this time to where, are you going to be one of them? Like, it's not like we gotta start writing our own stories, being intentional about what we want out of this reality.
Yeah.
They can look at the ones in the back,
which is good. We got to know where, in order for you to know where you going, you got to know where you came from. But there's also action that's needed. Like, what are you doing with that? What are you doing? What are we doing?
It's true.
Right.
It's
true. Know what I'm saying? We got to start walking and start being those leaders that we looked up to in our past.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think,
listen, if you don't do it, guess what? Somebody else will write the script for you.
Somebody else
will write the story for you. I stand on that.
Yeah. His story, as you always say.
Indeed.
and tell his story instead of being able to tell your own story,
Yeah.
which is what you want to be able to do. I think that, yeah, I agree with you, Ty. Right now, and I think this is why a lot of people say it's a great time to be here, right? Because it's a great opportunity. This is an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for us to do those things, to step up in that kind of way. You know what I mean? This is a great opportunity,
Right.
and it's convenient too, right? Like you said, it's right in our phones, right? We can do so much more. Who's going to
Yeah.
actually do it, and are you willing to actually do it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And also do it while you're still learning.
Yeah. Get out of your own way, because like you said,
You
like
do
Anuu
it.
said, the
Yeah,
only person not standing in your own way is
is
you.
there? Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the truth. You know, I stand
Yeah.
on it, you know, because it has to be you because you control you. I'm not in your avatar. You're
Yep.
not in mine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Facts.
I know we like to we good at pointing fingers. You know, we good at playing the blame game. At some point, you know, I know a lot of people was like, you know, when Kanye West was like, slavery was a choice. You know, I know a
I
lot of
agree.
people like, oh,
Oh, wait.
you
I
know,
am
they was kind of
too.
like, huh? Oh, how dare you and blah blah blah. And
I got what
I
he was
mean,
trying to say.
I mean,
I got what he meant. He
I
didn't
don't
mean
want
it
to,
the
I
way
don't
it
want listen. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, you know.
I know. I know.
But
we all
I'm gonna
got
tell you
choices.
this: I'm saying it's a choice because for the ancestors who said I'm not with it, they stood
What
on the
they do?
front line. They stood on the front line.
They sure did.
That's how you and I we're able to do what we're doing right now. So that's why I'm saying
Absolutely.
it's a choice. And you had some that was like, oh nah, damn that, I ain't going that. I
Yeah.
ain't, doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
Legit.
true.
is it not a choice or it's yes,
Yeah.
they were put in certain situations.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day, it has to come to a head where it's like, listen, I'll die. I'll lose my avatar. I'll put it on the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
That's
all
what I'm
comes.
saying when I say the choice. You know,
I
Yeah.
mean, it is like, I think that when I first heard it, I thought the same thing. I was like, I had to think about it. I mean, I didn't really, because I was wondering why everybody was so offended.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
I'm
get
like,
it either. I was
I'm
like,
like, I mean,
I
I get it, but I mean, we're overly sensitive. We take everything and we run with it, and we
that's
get
true.
hurt off the little smallest thing. We have
right?
no
I don't
emotional
think
intelligence.
right. I don't think it was a like trying to disrespect the ancestors. You
No.
know, no, I don't think that at all.
But he's trying to
However,
give our
I'm
people
not
back
talking about the
accountability.
times where
Yeah.
right. I'm not talking about the times where they was outside with with fire sticks and setting our stuff on fire. You know, we were trying to do our own thing. You know, no, I'm not saying that, but as time started, things started to change and we started to evolve and things started to progress and we started to get this technology and could do a little bit more. That's when it's like, hold on now. You're not going to tell me this is not a choice at this point. You're
Yeah.
not going to tell me that.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me this.
It is, but this is the thing is
You
that
can
we
make a
don't
choice,
know,
especially now. You have a
Mm-hmm.
choice, especially now.
especially now.
Especially now.
And the thing is like some people what think that it's just we're enslaved mentally.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
enslaved emotionally.
Yeah.
And not too weak.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, like Cecilia said in the comment section, I'm gonna post it again. We're in the age of Aquarius. You know, there's too much knowledge right now to be
Readily
ignorant.
available. Yeah.
Right.
There's so many things.
Exactly.
Even back then, there was books and a whole nine. But it's a choice at this point to remain
Especially
ignorant.
at this point. Especially at this point.
Especially.
Especially at this point. Now, I'm gonna cut my ancestors some slack. I'm gonna cut them some slack. You know, But now, right now, I'm not cutting nobody no slack right now. I'm not
We
cutting
can't.
you no slack. It's
We
definitely a
can't.
goddamn choice right now, especially
It
now.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're in a pivotal
But
moment.
what I was trying to say is, I get what Kanye West was trying to say. You know,
Yeah.
let's look at things from all angles. Is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Don't beat me up.
You know,
Go back.
but I think that
you know.
we are going through a pivotal moment. Like there's so many things that are happening, so many people awakening. Like the shifts are back to back. You can just feel like us being squeezed through the tube of light. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's light at the end of the tunnel, but that tunnel that you got to go through to get to that light is, it's like somebody's at the end of that tube and just like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going. There's so many things. We're evolving so fast, and to me it's almost mind-blowing. I think that last year was very significant for a lot of us because I know that you said last year you went through a lot. There's a lot of things that transpired for yourself, and I think that for myself too. Like I went from being in a nice place, leaving a situation to be homeless for a little bit, to reinventing myself, to healing in, you know what I'm saying, I had to revamp a lot of things for myself.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I was forced to do.
Yes, child. Okay, sorry. Go on.
Not, she knows, I was forced to have to make these changes. I could have stayed comfortable. I was about to stay comfortable. The Spirit's like, no. And pushed me out of the situation that I was in, and ultimately changed. Man, the last year has, like, I can't even, I can look back and be like, oh, that's not even the same person. I don't know who that is.
Is
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that at this moment, what do you call it in the Bible? Separating the wheat from the tare.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, you don't know? Like, basically, the great divide.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening.
Right. Correct. You have people that are choosing this path, and people who are choosing not to walk in this path. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a medium. There's some people who are just the agents in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
But
robots, the bots.
Yeah. Yes. The sheep.
Pretty much.
We all play a part. We all play a part. We're all here. We all are have an important role to play, whether it's small, whether it's big. And that's one thing that I think that is the misconception, is like everybody wants to do these big extravagant things or make these big huge changes, and they but some of us are actually not meant to be doing all that.
Sometimes people want to think that they're meant for this great humongous thing, but sometimes you're only here to help one person in one situation. And that gotta be enough. That got to be enough. That was why you're here. One person to make it so that you're on the train on the same day as that person, to go, it's gonna be okay. And then that's enough. It doesn't need to be this, I need to be this and that, and millions of people know me and I'm successful here. It doesn't need to be all of that. You know what I mean? Everything is a ripple. And that one thing though, that one moment that you might think is, that's nothing. I need to be greater than that. But that one moment, that person, right? You could have shifted something within them, and then they turn around and do amazing thing. And you were an integral part of that. And you got to value those little moments. Those moments are massive.
And that's what's important about being conscious. You don't know what role you're playing in that person's life.
Exactly.
The people that you meet on a day-to-day basis, the kids that you have, it all plays a part. This is much deeper than the third dimensional or what I can see right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I look at my children as well. Like, these are the next gurus or the next lawyers, the next whatever the case may be. But my kids, I know that I'm looking at them like, okay, I'm here to do a job, is to guide you into what you're supposed to be doing. So I know I have to be very conscious of the way that I'm maneuvering with them. Yeah. Because what happens is that sometimes we want to create them to be us.
Yeah.
Mini me's. And we want to move them down paths that are beneficial for us and not necessarily what they're here for.
Yeah.
You know, and so we just got to be conscious of that and understand that, you know, we all just play a part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got to play your part. Be you. Work on yourself and whatever the case may be. But we all play a part. And, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we play a part. It's and you guys brought up a big, the way you guys are looking at it, you know, is we all could look at it that way, it'd be a game changer.
Yeah.
Because you'll understand that even though to you think your part is small, your part matters just as much as someone else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those little moments could be huge.
Yeah. Huge ripple effect.
Huge effect on other people.
Yeah.
You know, you smiling at somebody walking down the street can change somebody's energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that there's times when I remind myself, you know, well, not even I remind myself, sometimes the divine reminds me by somebody walking down the street and they look at me and they smile or whatever the case may be. And it just warms my heart a little bit and it just, you know, helps me relax or whatever. Just like, you know, you just sent love my way. That energy gets transferred. And now, like I was just in a bad mood and now I'm like, oh man, it's just like, and I look at that and I say, I thank you to the Most High, to the divine source. I honor you and I thank you and I appreciate you for reminding me that I was just in an unconscious state of mind right now. Now I was, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, but we are all connected. Everything plays a part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're always at the right place at the right time unless you ain't listening. But then technically you
even
are.
Then. Yeah.
I mean, but then sometimes you are though. Even if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're still going to get the result that's needed for you to learn.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna work out, no matter what. Even if it don't look like it's working out or looks crazy.
Definitely. But you said something that triggered something. You said about the person who smiles at you, right? And as a New Yorker, that's very foreign for me, right? The whole smiling and greeting, hey, whatever. But I actually watched Kagiso, like my twin. I watched him when I was over there literally speak to everyone. And you can, I don't know, like when you're speaking to somebody who's driving the taxi, most people just get in the taxi and just go. But it changes the whole vibe of the person once you just, and I saw that and I was like, you know what? I should say hello back. Leave that New Yorker, you know what I'm saying, thing alone. But you're right.
And you know, and it's funny because I used to be the same way. It took me a long time to get to the point to where I'm having conversations with people and with strangers. I'm just like the last year, I've really like evolved in different ways because normally I want to be, I mean, unless I'm working at the, you know, at my job at the airport and I'm talking to people or whatever. And I ain't got no choice but to have a smile on my face, you know, but it took me a while to have like those little conversations. And then I'm like, I look at my chart and I realize like that's a major part of my journey is that I have to kind of slow down and have those little conversations, learn, because I can learn so many new things from different people by having those intimate conversations or with, you know, those short-term moments with people, random people, strangers or whatever. And you also get a sense of the divine. You know, I started looking at other, like there was a moment to where I was looking at everybody that came to me or was in my, you know, whether I talk to you or whatever the case may be, as I was looking at you as an extension of myself. And I'm like, okay, what does myself want to tell me today? And you'll find that you actually get answers. So imagine if we're not having those small conversations with random people, you could be missing out on so much.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying like to go crazy with it, you know, but if you feel called to talk, talk. You know, when the people come, you gonna do whatever. You know, you'll know intuitively. But you know, I think that it's you know, just walking in love and being operating out of your heart chakra will connect you to the people that you need to be connected with, even if it's just for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And so we got to be open to that. And when we're not open to that, I think that also is like has something to do with the heart chakra and it being blocked.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what you were saying, when you do these things, it changes the whole dynamic of your reality. You know, like I said earlier about how the universe, you know, it doesn't care about what you look like. It cares about your vibration, your energy, and your frequencies. So like you said, if you're open, you know, and you're operating, you know, from the heart, and you're moving according to, you're gonna receive according to that vibration. You know, and if we all kind of look at, you know, when you change your perspective and in how you look at things, it's reality because you're seeing it from a whole different view. You're not seeing it from the same view, so it's going to change. You're not looking at it from on the first level. You're on the 15th level, story level looking.
Right.
So the view is going to change. I guarantee.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I think, and you know what, even as your viewpoint changes, that's ascension in itself as well. With you being in the car with Kagiso and you're looking at him, or you having that thought of, oh, I see the way that his energy affects other people and how that changes the dynamic of this, the energy in this car. That's you evolving and consciously. That's ascension. That's ascension. Like, oh, I just came into a new level of awareness.
Yeah.
Now I see it's important, or that it could be beneficial to open myself up more to have these type of conversations or whatever, you know. And sometimes you might find yourself around people who will express that to you, like, you know what, I was really in a bad mood and you came, your smile is so beautiful, it just lit up my life. You know, I hear that all the time. And as you know, and so now I appreciate when it's returned. And as it's returned, I also give it back.
Understand.
Does it have to be to the same person? No, I'm just giving that energy back into the universe. And that energy always comes back to me. And you'll also know, I think another thing is, like, you know, you'll find, like, especially is if you're like I said before, if you're in a bad mood or whatever the case may be, and you do have somebody that comes up to you and says, oh, I like your shirt, or I love your hair, or whatever, gives you a compliment, just be reminded that that is, like, that could be your guardian angel or your ancestors or source just reminding you of your essence and your beauty and your you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I always look at that as a confirmation, like, from source, reminding me of my beauty or my energy, or just like the purity of my energy.
Like a positive omen. It's a positive omen. Yeah, I get it.
All of the good omens.
All of the good. I mean, is there a bad omen? It's all for your good.
It's a perception, I guess.
Yeah.
We can call it bad omens or whatever.
I don't know. We all have it.
Can you hear us? Feedback. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Your video is frozen, but we can hear you, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like lagging a little bit, I think.
But yeah. But we can still hear you.
But yeah, as far as what you were saying, Gia, is there good? Is there? I mean, again, it's all about perception. If you really want to get deep into it, no, it's it's either an omen that you're on the right track, or an omen that you're going in the wrong direction, and that might end up in a negative response type of thing. But there is no good or bad. It's just things that just happen. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
And some things cause a negative energy to manifest. But on a regular level, yes, there, even the bad omens can end up being good if we learn the lesson.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if we take heed.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. I guess because of where I'm at right now, at this point, it's like everything is for my ride. I don't care if I trip and fall on a rock. Everything is for my rise. At this point, it's like it's really no negative in my reality. Because even if if you get where I'm coming from, even if it looks like, or it seems like, oh man, this is happening to me. This is wild. This is not right. This isn't right. For me, no. I'm gonna transmute that. I'm gonna step into my alchemist role, and I'm gonna make it work for me. The person outside looking in, the next person probably wouldn't be able to wouldn't look at things that way. But like you said, it's all about your perspective, your awareness, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, where you're at, in this thing we call the journey or the experience or life.
Indeed. And you know what? I remember back in the, I remember like a lot of us would get to the point where, I mean, this is the thing. We're going to have emotions, right? And that's like, where we're going to have the ups and downs of emotions. We're dark and we're light. We have both aspects to ourselves. Sometimes it might make us upset for a second, but that foundation of understanding, like, yeah, this is for my ultimate good, but I am a little upset that this is happening right now. Type of thing. So I think that just making that understood to those who are watching it's not one of those fake things to where or those fake energies of, oh, I'm always love and light, I'm never in any other, oh, the world is crashing and I feel nothing in this, that's not what it is. It's a understanding and acceptance of that, no matter what things look like, that it's ultimately going to help you evolve in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Even if it hurts. And it doesn't stop you. It doesn't stagnate you. You keep pushing on forward. And then you look for the lesson. You find the lesson. Then you understand it so that, again, so you can transmute it and make it into, turn your lead into gold. And I think that that's where most of us need to get to. Because if we can get to that, most of these people, I'm not going to get into that. But, it'll be a revelation. What was that?
Yeah. To piggyback on earlier,
Yeah, I think she's reconnecting. So we'll just give her a moment to come back.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's and I think for the most part, personally, I'm kind of it's always known. It's all working for my good.
Yeah.
That's not a thing I'm really concerned about. I think that what I've had to figure out is even when things don't feel good, or I'm upset, or I'm angry, or whatever, that, like I was saying before, there is no like feeling bad for that, because everything is up and it's a flow, right? Ebb, flow, and you're gonna have, so you have to have, you won't have one without the other. There is no
exactly.
up without a down. And both, you need
Exactly.
both, because that's what swings it back up again. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, again, like what we were talking about earlier, is that it happens, you know, that ascension process, you know, it happens in stages. And the more that you go through, the more that you deal with, the more that you practice that mentality, you know, the more, is she in? Oh.
Yeah, she's in.
Okay.
This is trying to connect.
Okay, so yeah, the more that you tap into that energy, and the more that you develop that mindset and work at it to have that perspective, it strengthens, as we know, with anything, right? So it took me a while. It took me about a good 2 months to get it. But, you know, but again, you know, it's not that it's like all sunshines and rainbows, because it ain't.
Definitely.
But no matter what, I know that I'm about to get, you know, because the only way out is through. There's no way around it.
Yeah. That's true. Anuu, Marie, are you there? Yeah, I think she's having connection issues, guys. So bear with us. Actually, we're about to wrap up soon. But I am hoping that we can have her again.
Yes, right. You guys are watching. We are working on another live. We're thinking about a panel. So you guys just stay tuned and subscribe to Cosmic Connections.
Yes.
And follow us on social media, our social media platforms, which mainly Facebook, because that's where we stream.
On YouTube.
Yeah. And so that's gonna be nice. So we'll kind of put it out there when it's time and we have things set in stone.
And I also wanted to just shout out Anuu Marie Ra's social platforms. So she's at Remember Who You Are on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube for sure, and I believe on Facebook as well. So you can check her out there. She has a lot of wonderful content, so you guys will love her.
Yeah, she does. Let me see if I'm able to add this.
And it's a double U.
Yeah, so
it's double U. There's 2 U's in U.
Oh.
Yeah. Just add the extra U.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just get this up here. Okay. Here she comes. I think we should. Yeah, 1 second.
No.
Yeah. But yes, you guys, man, we thank you guys for just continuing to tap in with us and being patient. We are wrapping it up soon. We're just waiting for Anuu Marie Ra to come back on in. I think here we go. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did it wrong again, didn't I?
It's okay.
You know what? I'm gonna post it in the chat when we're done.
Okay, no problem.
In the comment section, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think she's having lots of connection issues, so that's been the thing. But I really enjoyed this chat tonight.
Indeed, and I am excited for another live, the panel we're talking about.
Yes.
We have that cooking, y'all. It's happening. So you guys just stay tuned, stay connected, stay aware of what we got going on. You guys, again, make sure to follow us or subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Cosmic Connections.
And check out our website too, cosmicconnections.com, for anything else that we have going on that we'll post on there as well too.
Yes, indeed. as well, if you guys are interested in joining us on any of our panels, any promotionals, as far as if you have a business that you'd like to bring on our platform, you guys can set an appointment with us through our link tree, which is in the link in our bio. And yeah, just DM us.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think we should wrap up and
Okay.
up. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It's been really nice and wonderful, a nice conversation. And I hope you guys enjoyed having Anuu Marie Ra. I don't want to mess up her name, but yeah. Because and expect, like Kai said, expect more from us. We're definitely working on more things. We appreciate you guys for, hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, and then again, make sure that you guys check the comment section after we're done so that you can check our website out, as well as follow Anuu Marie Ra on social media. Her Facebook, she should be tagged as well. I'll make sure to tag her in her TikTok. So yeah, we'll definitely be bringing her back on soon, especially because we have some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Other than that, you guys, thank you so much for tapping into Cosmic Connections, and we shall see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.